And now for something completely different.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FLOOTIE TV. This is our second episode. If you joined us last week, we had a lot of fun. Tonight, we plan on even having more fun. We're really excited to be able to bring
I'm back. Dean, I'm back. Let me out.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the depths of my imagination, Mr. Art Formee.
The very deep, hollow, and empty depths of your head.
Thank you so much, Art. You're full of compliments.
All for you, Dean.
You know, and as you're picking on me, I've always felt like you were the world's greatest artist.
Well, this is true. I'm from your imagination, and this is how you imagine me. Ooh,
And
what can I do?
because of that, I would imagine, as the world's greatest artist, that you would have, let's just say, opinions
Let's just say.
of other artists' work.
Oh, I can tell you about other artists.
Can you be an art critic?
This is what I can do.
Okay.
Every artist is an art critic.
All right, so I'm going to ask your opinion, Art, of some very famous artists and some very famous artwork.
Proceed.
Okay, so this first slide is Picasso. What do you think of this image from Picasso?
The artist is Picasso.
The artist is, you've never heard of Picasso?
I've never heard of Picasso.
Okay.
Who is this Picasso?
Well, Picasso was a Spaniard.
This explains very much. Okay. What my impression of this painting is a very tragic event has happened where a young lady, boy, was run over by an apple cart and it split his face or her face in two.
Well, I suppose that Picasso may have had challenges with anatomy.
I would imagine, since they all look like boxes and triangles.
Well, okay, I think that's okay. Let's go on to the next
Please,
image.
this disturbs me.
The next one, one of the fathers of contemporary art, Andy Warhol. What do you think of this image, Art?
I ate it.
You hate it?
I ate it. No, for lunch. I ate it. The tomato soup. I ate the tomato soup, but I prefer chicken noodle.
You like the chicken noodle? Okay.
Not as much as Angelina Jolie, though.
All right, Art. Let's go to the third image.
Please do.
The third image is more of a classical image from an artist by the name of Peter Paul Rubens.
Oh, the great singing group from America.
No, not Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yes, on the jet plane, they leave.
Peter Paul Rubens.
Oh, I see the middle one there. She looks a little bit like this is Mama Cass. Hey, She got the ample in the trunk, the junk in the trunk. Is that what they say?
Okay.
She's for me. She's for me.
Art. Let's go to the fourth one.
Please do.
Okay, the fourth one is from an artist by the name of Jean Miro.
Jean Miro, a Frenchman.
Jean Miro.
I love the French artist. Show me this.
This painting sold for $37 million.
What? Which painting? Where?
This painting.
Is it behind the chicken scratches in the middle of the picture? What painting are you?
That's the painting.
That is not the painting.
$37 million.
This is the finger painting of a fifth grader.
You are the world's greatest artist. You ought to be able to do that.
For $37 million, I will paint you chicken scratch all day long.
Okay, well, Art, you know what?
This is terrible.
As an art critic, Art, I'm not quite so sure, and I think it's time for you to go back into the recesses of my mind.
No, not me, Dean. Please don't make me go to this great empty head.
welcome back. Hey, our first guest today is artist E.L.Stewart. E.L.Stewart's paintings are a convergence of realistic figure and abstract. She studied in a private design school for illustration, graphic design, and advertising. Since leaving school, I have encountered a lifetime of inspiration through experience and exploration, says Stewart. I have gradually moved into creating work that encompasses both of my loves, a love of rendering the human figure a narrative and an expressive abstraction. Stewart's paintings hang in many private collections through the United States and are included in the art collection of Gonzaga University and Bozzi Gallery in downtown Spokane, as well as Angel Gallery in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Please welcome E.L.Stewart. Hi, Elsie. How are you?
Hello, Dean.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. So you've been pretty busy lately. I've seen a lot of new work from you.
Yes, I've been very busy actually. I've just gotten together a whole group of things for a show that's upcoming, but it'll be nice to have just the things ready to go so I can put them in different places,
Sure.
different times.
Well, you've got a lot of, you're represented in a lot of galleries, as well as the shows that you get involved in. What is there's the Artist Guide. Tell me a little bit about the Essential Guide. That's what it's called.
Oh, the Essential Guide is a magazine that's put out down in Santa Fe. And it's for different regions of the United States, and they have one now for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, Walla Walla, and I think soon Sandpoint.
Right.
And it has a lot of, well, it has my work in it too. It has different sections of it, of dining and...
So it's kind of a something a tourist would...
Yes,
okay.
it's put in like the hotels downtown. And in conventions.
Well, that's
medical
wonderful.
Conventions and things like that.
That's wonderful.
And it's one of the most used in the city.
So how did you get the opportunity to be in that guide?
You know, I really don't remember how that went. And I spoke with a lady. I think she approached me and talked to me about it. We made an appointment and talked about it, and it sounded like a thing that I would like to do.
Well, I would consider you're a very prolific artist, and I see, you do a lot of work. How many paintings do you paint typically in a month, or does it kind of go through cycles?
It kind of goes through cycles, but I try to keep about 5 things going at once, and then as I finish one, I add to it, and sometimes I get way too many going at the same time, but but it works out. It works out all right because I can look at them for a while and see what really needs to be done, or what needs to be said, or that sort of thing with the work.
So how do you select, your subject matter? I've seen abstract works of yours and figurative work. What is the inspiration for a painting?
Well, my inspiration comes a lot from experience, like today. May come up sometime in my work eventually, months from now, a year from now. But whatever happens, whatever I see, whatever I hear, whatever I think about, it's kind of simmers for a while and then comes out.
And then it becomes a painting.
Then it becomes a painting. And sometimes people can see that they are in the painting a little bit, or they can relate to it real well, but they don't know that they were actually the subject.
So a lot of what you do comes from your imagination then. It's not something that you're looking at
yeah,
image
and
or
I
anything.
draw when I paint. I paint directly. I don't do a sketch beforehand. It's already figured out. I've already figured it out in my mind what I want it to be. So it's just time consuming. It's just a waste for me to make little drawings of what I'm going to do.
Sure.
Because it's already in there.
Now today on the easel we have a painting that you brought with you. Can you tell me a little bit about this painting?
Well, this is one of my favorites, and actually it was from an article that I read in a newspaper about a flood in one of the southern states, And the article was about a mother in the water, in like a river, like a raging river kind of a thing, and holding her child up above her head to keep it from drowning.
Wow, that's a powerful statement.
And I did on that premise. And I really like this painting, and I sold it. I traded it actually for a pickup truck.
Oh my gosh.
And the pickup truck is now gone.
Uh-huh.
But the painting is still here. So that's an encouragement to me.
Absolutely. Well, it's a very powerful piece as you describe it, you know, and so that would be, you know, that's always one of the things that I really enjoy about your work is that, you know, you study it and you're trying to kind of understand the story behind the piece. Now, some of it, you know, you did one, is it Leda and the Swan or?
Leda and the Swan.
Leda and the Swan. And, you know, that's got a historical aspect to it.
Yes, I did quite a few of those mythological type stories. And Leda and the Swan, I did several of different, you know, approaching it a little different ways.
Sure.
And I like doing that.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, and you know, that's one of the things when an artist is painting their passion, it really comes out in the work. I mean, you're not painting because it's the popular thing to paint. You're painting what is inside of you as a creation. So
yeah, and I love that part of it. That's part of my, I guess. Well, my dad was an artist, and my mother, and I have a lot of relatives that are artists, and it all just kind of comes up. You know, it isn't something that I have to conjure up somehow. You know, it's in there and it comes out.
wow,
I don't know how else
where I am so envious of the artistic talents because I absolutely love the work, but it's a good thing I'm a collector because I can't draw a good stick man. So
well, it's fun, you know, because it's something that you can see and you can live with and see. A lot of people have a lot of talent in other areas that I think is just great, you know, but I'm not a good cook, you know, and there's just a lot of things that I absolutely don't do well, you know, but I can do this because this
wonderful.
comes from inside.
That's wonderful. Elsie, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back in a minute, and we'll bring on Natalie Stewart-Utley, your daughter.
All right.
We'll take a break right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bonjour, mes amis, it is Art Formee. I have a question for you. Where am I? Am I wet? Am I dry? Am I in the desert? Am I in the ocean? Nobody knows. Maybe you do.
Where's art? Art for me is a lifestyle. I wear it on my sleeve. Obviously, I wear it on my chest. I'm a walking, living, breathing piece of art. My style can't be put in a box. It has no perimeters. And whatever medium speaks to me at any given moment is what I create today. I'm Marcella Rose. I live on Prairie Lake, Pelican Rapids, Minnesota. My studio is where I paint, sculpt, and design jewelry and accessories inspired by nature. I grew up on a Minnesota farm and have lived and worked as a professional artist and designer in Fargo, Kansas City, Phoenix, Spokane, and Santa Fe before returning to my home state. My studio has no boundaries. It can be on the dock, on the deck, the patio, the garage, the boat, the front or backyard, as you'll see soon, and the basement, kitchen, or anywhere else I choose to be. Many times I prefer the sound of quiet. Other times I listen to music, or the waves, or the wind in the trees. As for theme or subject, I am moved by spirit, and am completely spontaneous, listening to my inner guidance. I prefer seeing beauty in all things, as if I'm still the very same child with no preconceived idea of what the final outcome will be. The raw wildness in nature particularly resonates and speaks to me. I may focus on painting a pelican, or sculpting a bison, or a horse. Other times, the simple joy of abstract texture and color, the petals of a flower, blades of a grass, or sunshine on the waves have a message for me. I surround myself in these elements and feel the essence of whatever I'm expressing through my medium. My style is constantly mutable and evolving and is never rigid or stuck. I prefer oils, wax, clay, and fluidity for my mediums as they feel alive for me. So, art for me is everywhere, in everything, and a way of life. I'm very blessed. Thank you.
We're very excited about our Where's Art segment. We'll be bringing artists from all around the world in future episodes, so stay tuned. Our next artist today is Natalie Stewart-Utley. She is shown at multiple galleries in the Inland Northwest, including the Pacific Flyway Gallery in Spokane Valley, Angel Gallery in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, the Bozzie Gallery in downtown Spokane. Natalie's landscape works evoke a sense of tranquility and longing for places remembered. Please welcome Natalie Stewart.
Hello.
Good to see you.
You too.
So, you've been a busy lady as well.
Yes.
Not so much in the painting, but in the family creation.
True. Yes. Yep. I just had my 4th child 3 months ago.
Wow.
So, yep. She's a wonderful little breeze of blessing, I guess.
Blessing, energy.
Yeah, she's really easy. So she's
sleeping?
Yeah. She's been sleeping a while.
Now wait a minute though, but you also have a 6,
4, 2,
2, and a 3-month-old.
True. Yep.
Somebody needs to build a statue for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, along with that, of course, you're a very creative artist, and I've seen a lot of your works. They're extremely lovely.
Thank you.
And we were talking a little bit beforehand. Probably life has you busy right now as far as painting new works, but you've got a number of things cooking upstairs to...
Yep, I always have things kind of, when I'm out driving around and stuff, I'm always kind of looking and seeing things that I would like to paint. So I have a little file of things that I would like to do, when that time comes along. So.
Now, is it mostly landscape type stuff? You see a scene, or is it you see situational things that you want to paint?
Well, there's a couple things, like the landscapes. Like I have to take my daughter to and from school, and we kind of take the back roads, and so we get to see a lot of turkeys and deer and pheasant, and there's some really beautiful points, because we have to go up on top of kind of a prairie, so coming back down, in the morning, and it's just the lighting and stuff is really beautiful, so I'd like to do that. And then I also, I've painted little portraits of my kids while they're sleeping when they're about 2 years old, and so I'm due to do that for my 3rd.
Oh, sure.
So that's one that I've been kind of thinking about and like to achieve.
Now those become family-owned pieces, though, I'm sure.
Yes, they stay at the house.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, when you can take your gifts and talents to be able to do that and create memories in your family. Now, we've talked before, the Stewart family and Stewart-Utley family, there's a lot of history in the art world. Starting with where, Elsie? What?
Probably, I don't know where it began, but probably my grandmother. My grandmother was a very good artist, and when she got married, she gave it up, burned it all up.
Oh my gosh.
But my dad is an artist, and I have 2 brothers and a sister that are artists.
And you're an artist.
Yeah, and my sister's daughter is a very good artist, schooled in Italy. She does some beautiful work. And her daughter, and Natalie, and her daughters.
Yep.
And so your little ones have pulled out the paintbrushes and...
Oh yeah. Yep. My oldest has gotten pretty creative with, layering watercolors and crayons and stuff together, and she makes some pretty fun little things. And my youngest daughter, who's 2, well, not youngest, but not the baby. she's been painting a lot. She really enjoys it. She loves Sharpies. So there's been Sharpie work along our walls.
Well, my kids did that kind of art too, but they usually got scolded for it.
Yeah, no. The most recent was on the fridge, the whole lower part of the fridge, and I had debated whether I should really actually take it off or just leave it. But then I was curious if these different methods worked to getting it off, and they did. So, but I took a picture of it.
Well,
before.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah.
Well, that's exciting, you know, when you've got that kind of family history and you know, the kind of legacy that you have with the art world, and to be able to share that. I'm sure Thanksgiving time and family events can be quite interesting. Yeah.
Natalie does very fine figure work also. She didn't mention that, and she does some just beautiful portraits of children and animals.
Yep.
She does some really excellent things.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, the piece we have on the easel today, Natalie, can you tell us a little bit about this piece here?
This was from one of my dearest relatives from her apartment. She looked out onto this little pond inlet thing, and so that was from her porch. It was a photo. I took it from a photo because it's from the Midwest over in Wisconsin. And yeah, it was, I think this was like the first landscape that I did that was large. Because I started out doing small plein air paintings because I was just freaked out about doing landscapes because I was never really fully trained in it or anything. So, so that was kind of the first large piece, and my mom snatched it up. So.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
If that's the view from somebody's porch, I'm very jealous.
Right?
And she was actually there. I mean, she was there, so she saw the thing. And
just painted it years later.
So that's looks like if it's in the Midwest, that's probably a early spring day, or?
Yep, early spring. Everything melting off.
That's wonderful. So do you paint a lot from photographs, or is a lot of it, I mean, you were describing the pheasants and and seeing the light and everything, you know, taking the kids back and forth. Do you stop and take pictures of that to have material to paint from, or is it mostly up here?
Yeah, I have taken pictures. And I prefer to be able to paint it on spot because you lose so much stuff in photographs, and, you know, with everything else that's going on in your brain, I have a hard time remembering everything. So, you know, so a lot of times I'd like to do a plein air and then go back later, you know, with a photograph and kind of work into it or whatever. Or work from a photograph and try to remember it, you know, so.
Plein air is, I mean, so it sounds to me like what you're saying is you go out and you'll like sketch it in plein air and then come back to it?
Yeah, just paint it. I don't do a whole lot of sketching, but just go out and paint it right then and there. That's an extremely wonderful talent. So, well, you know, it's absolutely wonderful. You both show at Bozzy Angel Gallery, a couple of the prominent galleries in the region, and a number of shows, and it's very exciting to be able to participate and see your work, and we really appreciate you coming on the show today. Look forward to seeing more of your work, and again, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes,
That's our show for today, folks. We thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.